I am Babajide Akanbi Shoaga.
I am Opeyemi Shoaga, married to Babajide Shoaga.
In 1991, I gained admission into Ogun State University.
We met precisely in 1991 in the university.
They got married in December 1998.
The first marriage to be celebrated by my parents. And their mommy wanted to see the children as quickly as possible. 9 months after the marriage, when there wasn't anything, we decided to see a doctor.
And after a series of tests, it was discovered that I had issues with my tubes. In 2006, the doctor told me that, Mrs. Shoaga, when I went in there for hysteroscopy, I discovered that the tubes were damaged beyond repairs and I removed them. My eyes opened. The only option I had was IVF. Even in the best of facilities, you can only have 40% success rate.
3 years after the marriage, we wrote to Pastor Adeboye. We want you to pray with us. Daddy wrote back to us that we should be attending the Holy Ghost service.
We commenced IVF and all failed.
That Daddy, we have been attending until now, 6 years after. Nothing has happened.
I asked him, I hope you won't disappoint me one day. He will tell me, I will never do that.
There won't be fighting, there won't be nagging. We'll be together.
Many at times you can't see the two of them and know that they are having issues like that.
He said, go and adopt a baby.
But we said no.
And I said, oh, I know that even prostitutes have children. It's not because you are a sinner, it's just because of the mercy of God.
That's almost 17 years into our marriage. We wrote back to Pastor Adeboye that, Daddy, God told you that we should expect the miracle children. We are still expecting them. But Daddy replied us. We were at the camp for convention. We didn't see it until we got back home. So when we saw, my wife was like, look at this. And I told her never to worry. We missed the appointment, but we are not going to miss the miracle. Every prophecy we do right there. When Daddy mounted the podium, the first prophecy that came was that there is somebody here. God said, I should tell you, by the time I finish with your blessing, you will need more than 2 people to help you. We visited the Open Heaven International. That was the former house where Daddy Gio lived.
I didn't know they were not allowed to touch the bed. When I got there, I just grabbed the bed sheet. I said, God, you must do my own. And by the time we were through, I said, I want something to mark God. I'm not just praying for fun. Something just to mark that I want 3 children from you. So I just bent down, stooped, and I picked 3 stones.
She said, these 3 stones are covenant between us and God.
To show that I really know what I want. There was this big gold they were selling in the camp that time. I bought 3. You know this long pencil? I bought 3. I told God, I am not just buying these things for fun. These things are to be used by my children. So I was buying things in 3.
February 2016, my wife took him. One thing interesting, she left the bedroom just 3 times. She was confined to that one room. They wheeled her to the theater. They didn't spend up to 1 hour. They brought out the 3 children. I said it could only be God.
You're the God of awesome wonders.
After 17 years of waiting, I always say 17 years, 8 months, and 5 days of waiting.
So the children were given the following names. The very first one, Eri Anu Oluwanimi, testimony of God's mercy. The second one, Eri Ileri Oluwanimi, testimony of God's promise. And the third one, Eri Ire Oluwanimi, testimony of God's goodness.
My husband, he had his first set of children at 48 plus. I was 43 plus.